Hello everyone, welcome back to Chanda DIY, and today's video I'll be showing you how to crochet an arm warmer sweater. It is really easy pattern and friendly for beginners. And in this video I also showing you how to measuring it on your body if you guys want to make it bigger or smaller. Okay, now let's get into the video. First, we are going to make the front part of the sweater. For this sweater, it can fit for size small and size medium. To begin, make a slip knot. And chain 41. It is equal 8 inches length. For this 41 chains, it is the height of the sweater. As you can see, it measuring start from the top of your shoulder until underneath your arm. For you guys that wear a size large or bigger than that, please add more foundation chains. Make sure to keep some space for the underarm part. Next, we are going to make half the bow crochet. For row 1, skip 2 chains and make half the bow crochet into the third chain. To make half the bow crochet, yarn over. Insert the hook into the loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Keep making half the bow crochet into every chain until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, next for row 2, chain 1, turn your work, and make half the bow crochet into every stitch until you have 2 last stitches remain. Then I will meet you back again. Remember, for chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch. After you got 2 last stitches remain, then we are going to make half the bow crochet decrease. To make half the bow crochet decrease, yarn over, insert the hook into the loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and continue insert the hook into the very last stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. And now you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 5 loops. Next, for row 3, chain 1, turn your work, and we are going to make half double crochet decrease again. After you have made half double crochet decrease, then continue make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, for the next row, we are going to repeat row 2 and row 3 until you reach row 13. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach row 13, so here what it looks like. And for you guys that make different size from me, please keep decreasing until it reach above your chest, as you can see. Next, for row 14 until row 24, chain 1, turn your work and make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. So start from row 14, we stop making decreasing stitch, just make normal half double crochet row. So now we have 11 rows of half double crochet without decreasing stitch, and in total you must have 24 rows. It is equal 7.5 inches length. It is the measurement of my shoulder, and if you guys want to make it bigger, please add more rows. And here what it looks like on my shoulder. I make it a little bit loose and longer than my shoulder because I want a loose sweater. For the next part, we are going to make the round neckline. Continue from where your last stitch is. For row 25, chain 1, turn your work, and make half double crochet into every stitch until you have 8 last stitches. Then we are going to make half double crochet decrease by make half double crochet 2 together. After you have made decrease, for the 6 last stitches remain, we are going to skip it. Next, for row 26, chain 1, turn your work, and we are going to make half double crochet decrease. After you have made decrease, then continue make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. For row 27, chain 1, turn your work, and make half double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 last stitches. After you had 2 last stitches remain, then we are going to make half double crochet decrease again. For the next row, we are going to repeat row 26 and row 27 until you reach row 31. Then I will meet you back again. And this is what it looks like after you reach row 31. For you guys that make bigger size, please keep decreasing until how deep you want your neckline is. Next, for row 32 until row 40, chain 1, turn your work, and make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. And here what it looks like after you reach row 40. It is equal 3 inches length. If you guys want it longer, please add more rows. And here what it looks like when I try it on my body. For the next part, we are going to make increase. Continue from where your last stitch is. For row 41, chain 1, turn your work, and make half double crochet into every stitch until you have 1 last stitch. Then we are going to make increase by make 3 half double crochet into the same stitch. After you got 3 half double crochet into the same stitch, next for row 42, chain 1, turn your work, and we are going to make increase by make 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. After you got 2 half double crochet into the same stitch, Then continue make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. For the next row, we are going to repeat row 41 and row 42 until you reach row 46. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach row 46, next for row 47, chain 1, turn your work and make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. Then continue make 6 chain. It is the same number like the other side that we skip 6 last stitches. After you got 6 chain, then add 2 more chains. It is for the turning stitch. Next, for row 48, skip 2 chain and make half double crochet into every chain and into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. For row 49 until row 58, chain 1, turn your work and make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. So start from row 49, we stop making decreasing stitch, just make normal half double crochet row. And from row 48 until row 58, it is the same number like the other side that we made normal row without decrease. And here what it looks like after you reach row 58. For the next part, we are going to make this triangle shape by making increasing stitch. Continue from where your last stitch is. For row 59, chain 1, turn your work and make increase by make 2 half double crochet into the same stitch. After you got 2 half double crochet into the same stitch, then continue make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. For row 60, chain 1, turn your work and make half double crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch. Then we are going to make increase by make 3 half double crochet into the same stitch. For the next row, we are going to repeat row 59 and row 60 until you reach row 71. Then I will meet you back again. So from row 59 until row 71, it is equal 13 rows. It's the same number like the other side that we made decreasing at the shoulder part. After you reach row 71, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. So this is what the front part of the sweater looks like. Remember, for both shoulder part must be have the same number of the row. So for each side I have 24 rows. Next, we are going to make the back part of the sweater. For the height and the length of the sweater and the shoulder measurement, it is the same measurement like the front side. The difference is we don't make decrease at the bottom part. So for the back part, we start with 41 chains and make half double crochet for 44 rows. As you can see, it is the same height and the same length at the shoulder part. Next, start from row 25 until row 31. We are going to make decrease for 7 rows by repeat the same thing like the front neckline. And after you got 7 rows of decreasing stitch, then start from row 32 until row 40. Make normal half double crochet for 9 rows without decrease. And start from row 41 until row 46. We are going to make increase for 6 rows by repeat the same thing like we did in the front neckline. And for row 47, just make normal half double crochet row without increase. After you reach the end of the row, then chain 8. And start from row 48 until row 71. Just make normal half double crochet for 24 rows without decrease or increase. If you guys that end the row at the bottom of the sweater, please chain one and cut off the yarn. And if you end up at the shoulder part, please leave the yarn there. Next, we are going to connect the front side and the back side of the sweater together. And here what it looks like after we place both sides on top of each other. To begin, continue from where your last stitch is and continue insert the hook into the other side loop. Yarn over and pull through all the loops. Next, we are going to make single crochet both sides together. To make single crochet, insert the hook into both sides loop. Yarn over and pull through both sides loop. And now you have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 2 loops. Keep repeating this into every stitch until the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then chain one and cut off the yarn. Next, for the other side, attach the yarn, and we are going to repeat the same thing like the first side. Next, we are going to connect this bottom part about 1.5 inches. It is where the underarm part. To begin, attach the yarn and chain one. Then single crochet both sides together until you got 7 stitches. So start from here until the top of the shoulder. It is equal 6.5 inches length, and it is the measurement of my sleeve. Next, for row 1, chain 2 and make half double crochet into every stitch around until you reach the chain 2 stitch. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the stitch near chain 2 stitch, then we are going to make slip stitch to connect the row. Next, for row 2, chain 2, turn your work and make half double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the chain 2 stitch. For the next row, please keep repeating row 2 until you reach row 54. It is equal 16 inches length. If you guys want your sleeve longer, please add more rows. And here what it looks like after you reach row 54. For the next part, we are going to make the crease around to make it fit around your wrist. For row 55, chain 1, turn your work, and we are going to make single crochet decrease. To make single crochet decrease, insert the hook into the loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. And now you have 2 loops on your hook. Then continue insert the hook into the next loop, yarn over and pull up a loop. And now you got 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Keep repeating this into every stitch around until you reach the end of the row. Then we are going to make slip stitch. Next, for row 56, chain 1, turn your work and make single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row, then make slip stitch. Next, turn the sleeve right side out. And we are going to make the ribbing panel around the wrist. Continue from where your last stitch is and make 14 chains. If you guys want the ribbing higher, please add more chains. Next, we are going to make single crochet. For row 1, skip 1 chain and make single crochet into the next chain. Keep making single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then we are going to make slip stitch into the single crochet stitch around the wrist to connect the row. After you have made a slip stitch, then make another slip stitch into the next stitch. Next, for row 2, turn your work and skip 2 stitches that we made slip stitch. Then we are going to make single crochet but into the back loop of the stitch only. Keep making single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. Next, for row 3, chain 1, turn your work and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, then we are going to make slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. For the next row, we are going to repeat row 2 and row 3 into every stitch around until you reach the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. And this is what it looks like after you reach the end of the row. Next, turn the ribbing wrong side out, and we are going to make single crochet both sides together. After you reach the end of the row, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. And now you are done for one sleeve. For the other sleeve, please repeat the same thing like the first sleeve. Remember, don't forget to turn it wrong side out, and we are working on the wrong side of the sweater. And then for the ribbing part, you have to turn it right side out. And now this is what the arm warmers looks like. Next, we are going to make single crochet around the neckline. To begin, attach the yarn and chain 1. Then make single crochet into every stitch around until you reach the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the single crochet stitch. For the next part, we are going to make the ribbing panels around the neckline. Continue from where your last stitch is and chain 6. For row 1, skip 1 chain and make single crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch. After you have made the slip stitch, then we are going to make slip stitch decrease by skip 1 stitch and make slip stitch into the next stitch. And this is how we make slip stitch decrease. Next, for row 2, turn your work. Skip 2 stitches that we made slip stitch and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. For row 3, chain 1, turn your work and make single crochet back loop only into every stitch until the end of the row. After you reach the end of the row, then we are going to make slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. So for row 3, we don't make decreasing stitch. Keep repeating row 2 and row 3 into every stitch around the neckline until the end of the row. It means that you are going to make 1 row with decrease and 1 row without decrease. After you reach the end of the row, then turn the ribbing stick wrong side out and make single crochet both sides together. For the remaining yarn, you can use darning needle to weave in or use the hook to weave in like me. Next, for the bottom part of the sweater, we are going to make single crochet around for 2 rows, but repeat the same thing like we did at the neckline part. And now your arm warmer sweater is done. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to click like and leave a positive comment down below. Stay safe and stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.